The thought of the day. Time is but an illusion that keeps us prisoner of our realm. We spend our life keeping time, running out of it, and constantly trying to beat the clock. If we focus on the moment, the now, time would be irrelevant, for in reality, all there really is the now. Think about it. Yesterday is gone, a faint memory that keeps you prisoner while not allowing you to enjoy the moment by constantly comparing the past with the now. Tomorrow is not here yet, and possibly never will be, having you bound with worries while ruining the precious moment, which is all you really have. So enjoy what you have and stay present and find true happiness within. Well, good evening, and welcome to the Transformation Show. My name is Mark Angela Cummings.
And I'm Violet Cummings.
And we're glad to welcome you to our home. The week goes so quickly, and I can't believe it's another week gone by.
Oh my God.
Well, this show, let's see what do we have for you. We're going to talk about, the things that are going on in this world. It seems it's getting crazier and crazier, but we do have control. And that's what the Transformation Show is all about, is to help you transcend with a shift. Help you take control of everything that's around you. Okay? You can't control the people out there, but you can control your focus. You can't control the madness that's out in the world, but you can control your inner peace. And that's what it's all about, to find that inner peace within you. We're going to go over some exercises today that's going to help those individuals that have arthritic problems, those individuals that have weakness of their hands and forearms, and even their shoulders. So we're going to go through different kind of techniques. Since I'm an occupational therapist, I always like to bring into the fitness realm a little bit of occupational therapy. And all occupational therapy is really teaching people how to function, even with any kind of disability or any kind of pain. Trying to give you control of you. We're also going to focus a little bit today on the old self bringing in a new self. So it's important that we just kind of put those old beliefs in a shelf somewhere or in a drawer and start finding out what feels right within your heart, within you. Not just because your priest told you that you should do 5 Hail Marys and go to church every week and do your tithe. And all. What feels right inside your heart? Let's start listening to our own inner self. We've given our powers away to everyone around us instead of actually being who we truly are. Another important thing we're going to go over today is, as usual, your recipes. So today we're going to be doing
Stuffed green pepper with tofu salad.
And for those of you who are not vegetarians, we're going to give you little tips on how you could do it for non-vegetarian folks. But we're vegetarians, so we usually like to make the recipes that we're going to be able to eat. But I always give you that little extra thing that you could add to make it non-vegetarian. We're also going to go over, your beauty tip.
Yes, I'm going to show you how to temporarily soothe and refresh tired, puffy eyes instantly.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get the show rolling. How many of you walk your day with all sorts of pain and aches all over your body? Some of us have pain in our knees, some of us in our neck, shoulder, fingers, wrist, or maybe all of the above. Our joints need to be protected. Prevention is the #1 key. If we abuse our joints, as we get older, we're going to feel it. So the key is, we need to lubricate these joints. And unfortunately, we can't take a W-40 and start spraying in our little joints. So we have to, #1, drink lots of water to help with that lubrication. But besides the water, there are certain exercise techniques that helps us glide the tendon and the pulley system that we have within our joint system. For starters, let's take a look at our hands. Our hands, pretend you have like a little pulley system that allows your fingers to bend, just like so, and open. Bend and open. In order for you to lubricate this pulley system, you have to actually do this kind of movement that I'm doing right here. This allows the pulley system to become lubricated. As we get older, arthritic ailments set in. We develop little nodules around that pulley system, which creates sometimes what we call a trigger finger, and I'm sure many of you have had that you try to bend your finger and it feels like it gets stuck. You kind of feel like something's preventing it from doing so. Well, if you lubricate your fingers and joints daily, you're less likely to have problems with them later on. Now, let's start by doing 10 repetitions of these. Slow and control. You don't want to over squeeze because you don't want to overextend that ligament system or pulley system, and actually you could hurt it if you actually squeeze too hard. So nice and slow and gentle. Once you've done 10 of these, you then want to bring it all the way down as if to touch the bottom part of your hand, and again, nice and slow and control. You want to do 10 of these gently. And then you could do like a little here and here. Bring it in and all the way down. In and all the way down. Slow and control. For those of you that have joint pains, you might want to start off by putting your hands in lukewarm water beforehand, kind of like to get things going, and maybe do it inside the water a little bit. If you find that your hands are swollen, your fingers are swollen, what you can do is what we call a contrast bath. You're going to start on cold water, then go into hot to warm water. You're going to hold your hand in for 10 seconds on the cold, and then bring your hands in for 10 seconds on the hot or warm, and back to the cold. You want to do this for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Start with cold, and always end with cold. Now, after you've gotten yourself kind of lubricated and moving, you might want to grab either a Thera ball, or some, maybe like even a tennis ball would help, and you're going to squeeze the ball and hold it for a count of 5. So squeezing, and if you don't have a ball, pretend you have a ball, and you kind of create this little squeezing isometric movement, and then you relax. Squeeze and relax. Remember, first start the lubrication, and now you can get into the strengthening exercises. And again, if you have a ball or some sort of anything that you could actually put pressure on would help. But if you have nothing, then you can do it just on your own, pretending that you have a ball. Squeeze isometrically and relax. You want to do 10 repetitions of this. Squeeze, hold for a little bit or on a count of 5, and then just relax. When you relax, don't straighten your hands all the way. Just kind of like, just let them do what they need to do, nice and gentle. Squeeze and nice and gentle. Now what you want to do after you've gotten all that activity with your fingers, start to move your wrist. Your wrists are very important. And for those of us that use our computer a lot, we tend to have what they call carpal tunnel. The reason you have carpal tunnel is you have a median nerve that goes right through this area here. And what happens is, from the excessive use, whether it's typing, whether it's if you're a truck driver, whether you're hammering all the time, any kind of repetitive motion will create an inflammation of the median nerve. What you have here is like a little sheath, and that sheath kind of creates a little problem with the median nerve, because the median nerve has gone inflamed, the sheath is pushing on the median nerve, then you start getting what they call carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel also may get started because of your neck. If you're constantly with your head down and you're creating inflammation of the nerves in your neck, it will also affect your median nerve. So the key is always make sure that your work area, if you're, I don't know, whatever it is that you do, if you're a secretary or a data entry, if you're constantly on the computer, make sure that your head is not down or all the way up. You want to keep it at a normal eye level so that you're not putting any kind of kinks on the nerves that you have back there. And you also want to make sure that your hands aren't too low or too high, because that also creates problem in the neck and also creating problem with your wrist. Make sure that you have a little sort of like how do you call those things that you put right in front of your computer to kind of give you that proper kind of position for when you're typing. You're not overly bringing the wrist down or overly hyperextending the wrist. Either or will create inflammation of the median nerve. So Prevention is the key, but now these kind of exercises that I'm teaching you are also going to help greatly. So let's say you do circular motions this way for a count of 10, and then you do it the opposite way. Okay? Then you're going to end up going up and down, up and down, nice and slow and controlled, never excessive, never going through an extreme. Remember your breathing, which is very important. Okay? You just kind of like wiggle your hands, get that circulation flowing, bring it down, wiggle it down here. And you should actually do this if you're typing for long periods of time. Take breaks. Take lots and lots of breaks, and respect your body. It's one thing we forget to do. We work 9 to 5 and want to please the boss man, you know, but forget about what really counts, and that is you. It's time to change. It's time to realize that this corporate world that we have been building is corrupt and it's not working. And we forget about our families, we forget about ourselves because we're constantly worrying about making that dollar bill. Okay, we got to think of our health. Okay, another good exercise for you to do without any kind of weights, just kind of bring your hands touching your shoulder and notice what I'm doing with the wrist. Wrists are moving, nice, slow, gentle movements. Bring the hands in a perpendicular kind of movement, peripheral. Follow the hands with your eyes. This is also lubricating your neck, lubricating your shoulder. And you want to do what you do on one side, you want to do on the other. Remember to follow with your eyes. Side to side, side to side. Try to do 10 repetitions. And as usual, always try to rest anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds between your sets. I always recommend anywhere from 10 to 15 repetitions of any type of exercise that you're doing. Take 20 to 30 second break and then do it again. For beginners, you might want to start off with 2 sets, and as you get better, go on with 3 sets. Now, these activities can be done with some sort of assistant once you start getting a little better and start to learn the motion. So you can get yourself a little can or something and kind of hold it in your hand, and you do the same concept, following the cans or the 2-pound weights. Same thing with this kind of movement, up and down, just like that. Same thing with your wrist. You want to bring the weight down and up. And actually you could prop your hands and your arms on your leg, and with the 2-pound weights or the can, you can do this up and down. This is actually going to help work the forearm muscles, which are the muscles that control your wrist. Bringing it up and down this way, you're working the extensors, and bringing it this way, you're working the flexors. What you do to one side, you want to do with the other. As far as protecting your joints, this is very, very important. We usually try to always open things up with our hands or grab things all the time. If you're having joint pains, protect your joints. You want to pick up the objects with your hands this way and utilizing your bigger muscles, which are your shoulders, instead of grabbing it this way and putting all the strain on the little IPs, which are these little guys in between here. You want to protect those, so always grab things with your hands, nice and open, and protect them. If you don't protect your joints as you get older, you're going to start getting deformities, and they're going to start hurting very, very much. Always use your bigger muscles. Same thing goes when you're picking things up. Use your legs instead of your back muscles. That's why 95% of you hurt your back, because you don't use the proper muscles that you need to use. The bigger muscles. You're picking something up, you use your legs instead of using your back. Always protect yourself at all times. Remember, your joints aren't there to last forever. So the more strain you put on them, the more problems you're going to have in the future. Most people protect their cars more so than they protect themselves. You are important and you are special. And taking care of you should be something in the priority list. So I hope these exercises helped you. I'd like to hear from you, some feedback. Email me at markangelocummings@yahoo.com. That's markangelocummings@yahoo.com. Any questions, anything you want to hear, any concerns, you're suffering from any kind of ailment, what should you do? I'll be more glad to help you. And I'll bring up the questions during the show. Also, you can visit our website, www.thetransformationshow.com. This show is for you, and I want to hear what it is that's going on with you. Thank you. The next set of exercises are called the housewife broom exercise. Many of you dread cleaning house, but if you could make the event an exercise event, it might just make it a little more fun and more productive. Okay, this particular exercise Bob is going to demonstrate are called broom squats. So what you do is you bend your knees slightly, going down, good, and then coming back up. And as you come up, you bring the broom close to you, good, and as you're bending your knees, you bring the broom outward. This is going to help your posture. It's going to help your core muscle. It's going to help build the quads. You actually possibly want to do this as a warm-up before you start cleaning house. You're going to do 10 to 15 repetitions depending on your level. And you're going to take anywhere from 20 to 30-second break in between each set, and you're going to do 2 to 3 sets of these. Next, you're going to be working your trunk by pretending you're sweeping, but you're going to bring one leg up and down, side to side, really working all the torso muscles, squeezing. This is also going to help your abs. You're also getting a little bit of your shoulder, move a little bit more of your shoulder side to side, kind of like freeing yourself, like wee. This is so much fun. Sweeping just became the thing to do. And again, you're going to do this for a good 12 to 15 repetitions. Remember to breathe, and then you're going to do 2 to 3 sets. Okay, the next one we're going to do is diagonal. All the way up, and then all the way down, all the way up, and touch the broom to the floor when you go all the way up, and then to the floor, There you go, up, and to the floor, up, to the floor. This does a good, it's not only working your muscles, but also your nervous system. And follow the broom with your eyes. Follow the broom with your eyes. Peripheral nervous facilitation. This is wonderful, especially as we get older, that our coordination tends to just become non-existent. This will help the coordination. And of course, what you do one way, you want to do the other way. So let's change sides. There we go. And up and down, up and down. Make sure there's nothing in the ceiling that you could hit, or no one behind you that you could hurt. Being mindful, and safety is always the key. Remember the breathing. It's kind of like you're dancing with that broom. Enjoy the freedom that you're feeling. Enjoy the freedom that you're feeling. Up and down. Good. Next, you're going to grab the broom on each side, and you're going to bring it down to your thigh and over your head. Down to your thigh and over your head. Good. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Excellent. And remember to incorporate your breathing. Now you're going to hold the broom right in front, directly in front of you. And you're going to make this an isometric exercise. You're going to hold it for a count of 10 to 15. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. Did you feel that on your shoulder, Violet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's called isometrics, and I've talked about isometrics throughout the show. You don't need heavy weights to get a workout. You can use things around the house. You could use just the contraction of your own muscles, which is isometric, which works marvelously, and you actually do feel the burn. Okay, and I know we did abdominals last week, but if you want to work a little bit of your external obliques while you're sweeping, you could do so very easily. Bringing the broom behind your head, bending your knees a slight bit, and then you're going to just kind of twist a little bit, being very careful not to over twist, and go to the other side. Good. And squeeze. Focus on the breathing. By bending your knees like this, you're protecting your lower back, and you're also including some of your quad muscles. I like exercises that work multiple muscles at the same time because it saves time, and actually your body's burning more calories when you do this because you're creating bigger demands for it. So, ladies, I bet many of you didn't know that a broom could be so beneficial, not just to clean house, but also to keep you in shape. It's always important to multitask. You're cleaning, might as well get a little bit of exercise as well. You must take care of you, because you are very important.
That's right. Tired, puffy eyes are part of the aging process, along with other factors that can contribute to it. For example, allergies, sleep deprivation, poor nourishment, and the excess of intake of sodium. Here's what you can do. Cut 2 thin slices of cucumber. Cucumbers have a lot of antioxidant properties. When put over eyes, helps the skin around the eyes feel firm and refreshed. So lay on your bed, have the 2 slices of cucumber, place them over your eyes, and relax for about 10 minutes. Remove them, and your eyes should feel soothed.
Look in the mirror and search for the truth. Changes are coming that will affect you.
This is a good tip to try when you're tired and you have an affair to go to in the evening after a long day and you want your eyes to feel soothed and refreshed. It will definitely perk your eyes up and make them smooth. The recipe for today is stuffed green pepper with tofu. We're going to stuff it with tofu salad. First you want to cut the pepper down the middle. Wash it, cut it down the middle. This one didn't have anything inside. Clean it up inside. Take the stem out. Like so, and set it aside. Here's your tofu. Cut it in half a block of tofu. Place it in a bowl, in a shallow bowl, set the other half aside. You mash your tofu. it's nice and mashed. Like so. And you're going to start putting in your condiments. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of purple onion. Put them in there. 2 tablespoons of cilantro. Everything cut small in julienne style. Also fresh tomato, about 1/4 cup of fresh tomato, diced up small. And here is 1 garlic clove, pressed or chopped up very small as well. Put all this in here. And now some mustard. A tablespoon of mustard. Some tamari sauce, a tablespoon of tamari sauce. Some hot sauce, or if you prefer fresh jalapenos, you can use those as well. We don't have them at the moment, so I'm going to use hot sauce. A generous amount depending how spicy you like it. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with some cheddar cheese, grated cheddar cheese.
Parmesan cheese.
Excuse me, Parmesan cheese. Some curry powder. And some black pepper.
Now, if you're not a vegetarian, you could substitute the tofu with ground chicken or ground turkey or ground beef, depending how many of the green peppers you're going to be using. But per green pepper, I suggest 5 to 6 ounces of either the ground chicken, ground turkey, or ground beef.
Mix all the ingredients in and take a generous amount, I'd say about 1/2 cup of the salad, of the tofu salad, and place it into the green pepper. If you like this version a little creamier, you can use plain yogurt or even a little bit of fat-free or low-fat sour cream if you want. Just a little bit, a dollop, like a tablespoon, to make it a little creamier and richer if you like it that way. And here it is.
This is a great dish for those of you who are trying to cut your carb intake without having to use tortilla or tacos or bread. You can use the green pepper. It gives you that nice little crunch. This is lower in carb, much healthier for you, and very delicious. The spiritual lesson of the day. We have been taught from an early age to have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Everything we do gets measured, compared, and competed. Your height, your weight, your reading and arithmetic scores become the focus of attention. If you do not measure with a standard norm, you're either held back or ridiculed by those who created the system. They do not want free thinkers, they want drones. And hence, our school system and societal rules we see before us today. Have you ever wondered why? Why everyone has to fit the societal box? Well, hey, this is how they control the masses and create robotic individuals who have lost all connection with self and spirit. Back in tribal times, things were different. Being an individual was recognized. Unlike today, everyone has to make a fashion statement wearing someone else's label and following a trend. Being different is ridiculed. Following your own heart is scorned and punished by the system that supports mind control and repression. To know spirit is to know yourself. Be who you are meant to be. Follow your heart. And don't let anyone stop you. Namaste.